that's how it looks to me. But it was some safety class. It's a long class that it doesn't matter. He said, I've been here, I'm next, I'm the most qualified. Because I'm not like checking one, I check all the other boxes. Because I know he shot me a long text last night. He said that I guess in another year or so. I was like, man, I can't say anything. I mean, obviously, I'm not. That's the. I try to tell them. I have to draw the line here. I can't sit here and talk I felt like I was saying on the road. I spent about 10 minutes explaining how it works. I think it's like 32 There's going to be 3 guys that have been here 5 or 6 years. We're back Tuesday. And all I can do is I think actually all I was trying to do was I can't say anything else. He's going to make sure he checks all the boxes. If I did exactly what he wanted me to Everybody, well, yeah, you just stay up late. It's
Really, we see this later.
What time are we meeting with Croft at 10?
Supposed to be after this meeting.
Oh, just directly after? That's even better.
So I'm trying to schedule.
We're getting close on time, aren't we?
Yep.
Oh, it is 9 o'clock. You ready? Good morning. I'll call this meeting of the Cartersville City Council to order. If you'll please stand for our invocation and pledge.
Good morning, everyone. Let us bow our heads. Let us pray. Our Father in heaven, we come to you at this time to say thank you. Not to ask for nothing, but to give you all the praise and the glory that you so deserve. We are thankful for the God that we serve and the country that we live in and the freedom that we enjoy. Father, give the council guidance and wisdom to make the correct decisions of the city. We welcome our visitors and friends here this morning on this joyous occasion. Just come down and be in the midst as we work and do the part that our citizens voted us here to be. Guide us and direct us, and we'll be so grateful. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please direct the roll, please.
Harry Hyde, Ward 1. Here. David Stapp, Ward 2.
Here.
Gary Ross, Ward 3.
Here.
Calvin Cooley, Ward 4.
Here.
Gary Fox, Ward 5.
Here.
Alyssa Cornell, Ward 6.
Here.
Thank you, Julia. First order of business is the approval of our council meeting minutes from November 21st. And council, you've had an opportunity to review these minutes. Now would be an opportunity to make any corrections. If there are none, a motion is in order.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Minutes are approved. Mr. Porter, get us started off with an appointment this morning.
Yes, Mayor. Obviously, with Steve Roberts stepping down as the Parks and Rec Director a few months ago to go back to Dalton, I am recommending David Archer Jr. after going through the interview process to be our next Park Recreation Director. David's got experience, a number of years experience, but he's been with the city about 18 months. He's the leading candidate for me, and it's been my recommendation to Mayor and Council to appoint him as the next Park and Recreation Director.
Thank you. Any questions or discussion? If not, a motion's in order.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
And motion carries unanimously. David, come on forward. Ms. Drake will swear you in.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will support the Constitution of the United States and of the state of Georgia, that you will in all respects observe the provisions of the charter and ordinances of the city of Cartersville, and that you will faithfully discharge the duties of your office, so help you God?
Okay. Had a couple things I wanted to say. We have to really be careful of what we pray for. But seriously, I would like to thank the mayor and council, and of course Dan Porter, for the opportunity. I am both humble and grateful, and understand the gravity and importance of the position, and pledge that collectively as a staff, we will work diligently to meet and exceed your expectations, as well as those of our community, particularly as we forge ahead amidst unprecedented growth. I greatly appreciate the unwavering support of my wife, Amy, and my family that is here today. And sometimes God has a way of making things happen at the most appropriate time. Thank you.
Thank you. City Attorney, want to make any comment on that, or are you good?
About what? No, as I sit here, I'm emotional. I think David would do a great job. I first took that oath in 1972. I took it again in 1974, my second term. I took it again in 1976 when I was appointed city attorney. I took it again last year to be demoted to assistant city attorney. So for my son to take that oath, it's a big deal.
Very good. Well, we're glad that you're here, and Keith is glad that you're here too, because he got to sleep in this morning. He thought he was doing you a favor. He was doing himself one. Well, thank you, and congratulations again, David. We look forward to great things. To his family, we've got other business. David is presenting something later on if you want to stick around for that. If not, we can give you a minute or two to get on with your morning. That's what I thought.
God, that's a big family.
It is. Randy, why don't you get us started with the next item, please?
Thank you, Mayor and Council. This is our annual community work program and CIE, and we have to do this annually because we have an impact fee ordinance on the books. With that, we update the data for each individual department. The financials do not change. Everything's been zeroed out on that. With that, we have collected the data. It's in draft format. You will be seeing me again in January for the final version for an adoption. But right now, we do recommend approval of the resolution to transmit this to the state of Georgia and the Northwest Georgia Regional Development Center for review. And with that, again, the final version will come back before you for adoption. We do need to open it in a public hearing, and with that, we've had the data available for the last month and have had no input, no additional input from the public.
Thank you, Randy. I'll open up a public hearing relative to the capital improvements element in the community work program annual update, and anybody wishing to step forward to speak for or against may do so at this time. And seeing none, I'll close that public hearing, turn it over to council for consideration.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Next, Randy, you've got to get us started with T24-06.
Yes, this is a proposed text amendment to the zoning ordinance. This is an applicant-driven request. Currently in our light industrial district, we do allow for athletic training facilities. The proposed text amendment would allow physical therapy and rehab along with the athletic training facilities. The applicant's business model does incorporate in that. With that, it went to Planning Commission. Planning Commission did recommend approval. There was a presentation to y'all at the last council meeting. I don't believe we'll need to do that over again, but with that, again, Planning Commission does recommend approval. There have been no additions or changes since the first reading.
Great, thank you. And with that, I'll open up a public hearing for T24-06. Ask anybody wishing to speak for or against to do so at this time. And seeing none, I'll close the public hearing for T24-06. Turn it over to council for consideration.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries unanimously. We move on to specialty shop proposed ordinance changes.
Yes,
Randy.
this is a proposed change to the alcohol ordinance. Currently, specialty shops allow 25% alcohol sales. The proposed text amendment by the applicant was proposing a 51-49%. Alcohol Control Board did hear this and did make a recommendation of a 70-30 percentage split with that. Additionally, there was another portion of the application, but apparently that's not going to be heard this evening. And with that, the applicant is present for this request.
Thank you. Question for Randy at this time. Thank you, sir. I'll give the applicants an opportunity to speak to the proposed change if they wish. Again, your name and your address for the clerk, please.
Jason Frederick, 39 South Public Square, Southern Cove. So good morning, Mayor and Council. Congratulations to the Archer family. That's pretty awesome. Awesome. Okay. I guess we would just ask to consider the part that we discussed last time about removing the special events from counting against us. Whatever the decision would be made on the percentages, if that would be included as well, that would definitely help out. And we would appreciate that consideration.
Buddy Frederick, 39 South Public Square, Cartersville, Georgia, Southern Cove. And yeah, I'm thinking the same thing that Jason just said. The percentage or the alcohol sales during the special events would certainly make a difference, as we talked about last time, in conjunction with, you know, a percentage change. You know, we're certainly looking for that 49.51. I'm just concerned that, you know, if we don't get somewhere close to that, that at some point we'll probably be back here having a discussion. And at some point, you know, I don't want to hit that wall where, you know, you guys have hit your ceiling, and what do we do? Close the doors? So just want you to consider that as possible at some point in the future if we keep hitting that wall. So, but thank you for all your consideration.
Okay.
Yep. Appreciate all of you all do.
Any questions for
Questions?
us?
We did discuss a little bit in work session about we talked about the percentage. We also talked about backing out the portion about backing out the special events. What percentage how did you track that number, and what number do you think you'd be at if you backed out those events?
We would be right under 21% if we backed out the special events.
Yeah, my numbers come up to the 20.47% is where we would be if we did not include the special events.
Okay.
And where are you now?
With the special events, we're at 28.95.
Okay. Any other questions or discussion?
I'll just ask one question, because obviously, you know, we're going to take it in consideration and we'll give guidance, but what internally are you guys doing to maybe slow that percentage down or increase the other percentage, just on a business strategy?
Sure. So I don't feel like our business strategy should be forcing our hand to control that. Our business strategy is to keep the doors open and stocking the store as full of retail as we can. So right now we're sitting on $250,000 after it all sells of retail product alone. And short of winning the lottery or having all of you guys buy in as investors, I don't know how much more we can do to push more retail in that store to sell out of there. And we do sell, our numbers show, way more retail than we do alcohol. But unfortunately, we're up against a wall of percentages here. So our bar's in the back of the store. It's not in the front window. You know, I don't know how much more we could do to push more retail out that store.
And some of the product line on the alcohol side can be costly. I mean, we have stuff that's, you know, very inexpensive, $4 an ounce, but we've got some select items that may be as much as $100 an ounce. And it's just kind of a specialty niche for those that want to try something like that don't want to spend $2,000 for a bottle of something. They want to come in and taste that.
So what that does is it throws our numbers off and it skews them big time. So I can sell a million pairs of socks for $12 a piece. But if I sell, you know, a fraction of that at $100 an ounce pours, it's going to look like my alcohol sales are through the roof, when quite honestly I'm selling product that bottles cost thousands of dollars and you're paying hundreds of dollars for pours of that, which skews those numbers. And now we, like you said, we have stuff that's really inexpensive, but we do specialize in things that are astronomical because of the rarity of the product.
Okay. Any other questions or discussion?
Just one more. Can you remind me, gentlemen, when you all opened your place of business originally, did you have alcohol in your business plan, or was that after the fact? I can't remember.
No, that's a great question. When we opened originally, we opened under a different name.
Right.
At West
At a
End,
different location.
different location, West End
remember
Commons.
you moved.
Yeah, so when we moved to downtown, the structure was there already from Cohutta to serve
Right.
beer. So he asked us if he needed to tear that down or leave that in place, and we didn't know what we were going to do. We just said leave it in place because it looked cool. Worst case scenario, we turn it into a soda bar and do craft sodas. So we just knew we wanted to use that structure. We didn't know how.
Gotcha.
So 3 months later, it was during COVID, so 3 months later, when the city came back into session, we went ahead and opted to try to get the beer and the wine alcohol license.
Got you. I just couldn't remember.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions for the applicant?
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, council, any further discussion about this, where you'd like to see this go? I turn it over to y'all. I gave y'all my recommendation during work session. And just for the record, my recommendation was 65%, lowering that percentage, which is less than what, it's more than what the applicant wants, but it's less than what was recommended by the Alcohol Control Board. I don't think that it's, I think that special events should be included in it. And, but again, that's just for the public record where I stood on it, and council's welcome to do whatever you want to from there.
Well, I like the spirit that we had, with the specialty shops. We kind of opened that door up, and it was, to kind of give the stores an option, the specialty shops, and we had that percentage. And I agree with when looking at units sold and the price of things. So I'd make a motion to, I don't know, are you in the motion? You're in discussion.
We're having a discussion, but a motion could pop up in the middle of the discussion.
Well, I mean, I'd make a motion that we go to 65, retail 35% alcohol.
Okay, and any thought on the special event?
And I would leave the special event in there right now, because I don't think it's, you're looking at about 7%. And we can come back and visit that later, I think.
Okay.
But that's,
All right, so there's a motion. I can either have a second or there can be more discussion.
Second?
All right, any further discussion? All right, all in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Mr. Porter, you have the next item. Well, I guess Wade woke up and got here, so.
I do have the utility rate ordinance update, Mr. Mayor. But this is the second reading for the water and sewer rate ordinance. This basically, since we've changed our capacity fees, we would like to amend the wholesale water contracts to allow payment of the capacity fees over time, to allow these large payments to not have to pay at one time. It's not going to impact our budget, but I do recommend approval of this ordinance amendment.
Thank you. Questions, comments, or motions?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Mr. Morgan, you're up next. Good morning to you, Freddie.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor and Council. This is a request from the City Attorney's Office in conjunction with Municipal Court to update or revise Section 1.6 and 13.18 probation requirements. This is a request to bring that in line.
Okay. Thank you. Is there any, what are any specific
reading.
details at all? Just kind of wording? Is it just?
Yes, sir, it's wording.
Just kind of
and-
cleaning
and
up language?
It
No
is,
real
and it
substantive
actually
change?
allows.
Consideration. Thank you, Freddie. All right, Dan, you've got the next several.
Yes, sir. Wellness program for 2025. We would like to continue with CHP to provide that service for us and recommend this for your approval.
Questions, comments, or motions?
Motion to approve.
second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries unanimously.
Next item is a certificate of dedication for villas at Cartersville. This is a standard certificate for our water lines and hydrants and all, and I recommend it for your approval.
Thank you. Any discussion?
Is this just the infrastructure, or is this the roads and?
Water and sewer,
Yeah, this is the water. Yeah, the county. So this is our water and sewer infrastructure for this particular project.
Thank you. There's no other discussion. A motion's in order.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Construction manager at risk for Matthew Hill Park renovations.
Yes, Mayor. We sent out an RFP. We evaluated an RFP. We interviewed a couple firms. We were recommending Gay Construction as construction manager at risk for this project. This will replace the stadium steps there, build the pavilion, the basketball courts. We'll have the detention pond out there as part of the project as needed with the site development, and it'll also fix the Aubrey Street wall. This is just to approve construction manager risk, subject to the final approval of the agreement with the city attorney and city manager. Keith had some language changes on there. We're trying to get that approved, but I'd like to get this approved this morning. Looking forward to the process, continue moving forward. We have a deadline by the contractor to have this project done in early June of next year. So recommend this for your
Outstanding.
approval.
You know, one part of this, not just the beautification and improvement of this park that's named after a wonderful man, there are, if you take a look at the picture on the far left, there have been some erosion and washaway concerns to that bank if this was not done, and potentially putting that upper gym in some peril. So it's a beautification, it's a drastic improvement, but it serves a pretty important purpose as well. So that being said, if there's no other discussion, a motion is in order.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Next item. Good morning, Wade.
First item is Terrell Heights subdivision Phase 1 concrete placement. Part of the Phase 1 of the project over at Terrell Heights is Public Works is self-performing. However, this is a driveway that we need to replace. Kind of a large project, so we're going to bid it out. We did get 3 prices. The lowest bidder was $8,950 with Completecrete from Taylorsville. This project is funded through American Rescue Plan Act, so we have determined that this project does manage, reduce, and recapture stormwater, therefore it is eligible for these ARPA funds. We recommend approval to sign the proposal with Completecrete at $8,950.
Thank you. Did you read the little ARPA piece, or did that need to be part of
I got
this?
it. It's in there.
Hey, that little piece was in there. Good for you. Thank you. I will just kind of comment on this. I take drives back there occasionally. I mean, the scope of work is pretty large back there.
Yes.
This is something the neighborhood wanted and asked for, and I think they've been patient. I think we've been really good too. I know there've been a couple of hiccups with adjacent businesses and water services and whatnot, but I'm saying this to applaud your folks, the contractor, and also the neighborhood for working together to get something that's going to improve this area.
So yeah, and this phase is nearing completion. This is the latter parts of what we need to do, and then we'll actually do a little bit of paving, finishing up with our paving contract. It'll probably be in the spring, some of the paving. And phase 2, which is the portion on Woodland, is also, we're getting close to we're probably a few weeks out from doing a punch list on that, and then we'll be landscaping. So that portion is nearing completion also.
That's great. All right, thank you. Any other questions or discussion? If not, a motion's in order.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. LMIG paving contract.
Thank you. Yes, we opened bids for our local maintenance improvement grant, or our resurfacing using our LMIG funds. We actually had 10 bids this year, which is a very good number of bidders. We had very competitive. Some of those were very competitive. The low bidder on the project was the Surface Masters, $1,084,917.26 for 4.4 miles of city streets. We have a budget of $1,373,486.21, and so we're asking that we be allowed to negotiate some additional streets on top of these to add about a mile of more street. We recommend approval of this to enter this contract with the Surface Masters. As well as I do need to add that $323,486.21 is from LMIG, which is a state grant. $500,000 was budgeted out of general fund, and $550,000 was out of the 2020 SPLOST.
Thank you. And because people want to know what streets are on this list, I know they're up there, but
Well, okay, yeah, I'll
for the minutes,
read them all that.
For the minutes. Yeah.
Okay, so these streets that are projected to be, proposed to be resurfaced are Hill Street, River Drive, Mockingbird Drive, Townsend Drive, Bruce Street, Etowah Drive between Old Mill Road and 511 Etowah Drive, Forest Lane, Swisher Drive, Wyckoff Street, Parkview, and Lake Haven. The additional 1.1 mile that we're going to try to add would be in the Terrell Heights area, because those streets are getting close to already to being need to be resurfaced also. And I want to add here that we do, there is a method here how we choose and select. We rate our roads every 2 years, and so we try to do the worst ones. They may not score the worst, but they're close, and so we try to bundle them so that we get a better pricing from our contractors.
Thank you. And then your number, so people can call you when their street's not on there instead of us.
That's fine.
I'm just kidding. All right, any further discussion? If not, a motion is in order.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Continue on, Wade.
So I'll continue on with the recertification of the local LAP program, which is local administered projects, in order to continue to manage these projects through GDOT. From the local perspective, we have to go through, we have to be recertified every 3 years. That includes Mr. Foy and I attending about 6 classes, I think, every 3 years. Both of us have done that. We have to comply with the FHWA and GDOT rules for procurement, right-of-way acquisition, non-discrimination standards, and environmental protection standards in order to receive these funds. The LAP program, we are able to do like Douthit Ferry, Grassdale Tap, and then the Mission Road Tap that we'll start begin with.
Okay. Any questions for Wade on this item? If not, a motion's in order.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
The motion carries unanimously. I think the last one for you, Wade?
That is correct. So the ARPA, we received a little over $8.1 million in ARPA funds, which is the American Rescue Plan Act. These funds need to be obligated by December 31st of this year and spent by December 31st of 2026. We've had several projects through the years where we worked this on. Terrell Heights is one of those. The Irwin Leak Street project, which is nearing completion also. We have projects over at the Fight Heron Street area, future Pocket Park on Etowah and Lee Street, as well as a downtown flood study that was completed. All of these, and then today we will be opening up some various pipe improvement project bid, and we'll bring that to you next council meeting. So all those have been funded through this ARPA project, but we do have some additional money that we would like to spend on equipment, and it's both the stormwater division as well as the water and sewer. And so we have a list of items here that we've either purchasing through state contract or a source well. So it has already been bid out through that process. And I think Sydney had one that was a sole source. But they include an Elgin street sweeper for the stormwater department, Vactor sewer cleaner truck, which is for the water department, a Western Star volumetric concrete mixture, which is our batch truck. That'll be for public works, stormwater. A truck mounted leaf vacuum truck. That will be actually solid waste, but our stormwater gets credit on our BMP for that. The Haco City Master street sweeper, that's the small one on the top. We actually are getting, should be receiving that this morning, just after this meeting, hopefully, and we will hopefully, it may make a presence in the parade tonight, and definitely be working at 4 a.m. tomorrow morning. So, and then we have the 2 different sewer cameras, one for the water and sewer department. They'll have a van with theirs. Stormwater, we're just replacing ours. And we use ours in a trailer, so we already have the equipment. And then water and sewer has a GPR equipment that they're purchasing, ground penetrating radar. So all of the, I do need to make the statement here. Okay. Fault by. So public works meet the standards to help manage, reduce, and recapture stormwater, and the water and sewer department will utilize this equipment to reduce the demand for publicly owned treatment works capacity through water conservation, efficiency, and reuse. Therefore, these items are eligible for ARPA funding. We recommend approval of these items.
Eloquently said. Any questions or comments or motions?
I would just like to mention, Mayor and Council, obviously I've met with Wade and Sydney on this over a couple different times, looking at this ARPA funding, how can you do the projects. Wade and I have been working for the last couple of years in these projects, but these are eligible funds. I've checked with GMA on this, and we do have to obligate them within the calendar year. I do recommend them for your approval.
Thank you.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries
Thank you.
unanimously. Thank you.
May
Yes,
I
sir.
say one thing?
Absolutely.
With the street sweepers and the parade tonight. So we have put out, this is just a public service announcement. We have put out like 32 extra Kirby's along the parade route, Public Works says. And we just ask the public to utilize those Kirby's. We have them out there. That will help reduce the amount of trash within the city streets. And as I said, our guys will be out here at 4 a.m. in the morning cleaning the streets. So hopefully by 8 o'clock in the morning, you'll hopefully think there wasn't even a parade here last night. But
As long as you didn't move the chairs I put out on Tuesday afternoon to put your Kirby in there, I think.
Logan asked me if we were moving chairs. I was like, we're not doing that. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, Wade. Mr. McKee, you're up next.
All right. Good morning, Mayor and Council. The first item that we have, the Electric Department is requesting approval to purchase a 65-foot digger derrick truck. We've located the specifications for a 2026 Terex General 65 that meets our desired specifications and matches equipment that our crews are familiar with operating, which is quoted via Sourcewell. That said, truck will be replacing actually two vehicles from our existing fleet, a 2001 Terex line truck and a 1997 Ford crane truck. We do request authorization to purchase this vehicle from Terex USA LLC via that Sourcewell contract in the amount of $592,147. This is about a 2-year lead time item, so we're essentially getting the ball rolling at this point, and it will be a budgeted expense as well. We did have the terms and conditions reviewed by Archer and Lovell.
Thank you. Any questions for Tom? And if there are none, a motion's in order.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. While Mr. Archer's bringing his way up, Chair will entertain a motion to add one item to the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. One item added. Hello, Recreation Director Archer. How are you today?
Good.
Good.
Mayor and Council, Parks and Recreation is looking for approval for a Toro Sandpro 2040Z zero-turn drag machine. This unit will be used for the Little League and baseball complex fields. This unit is a 3-wheeled upgraded version with better drag results. We'll be making the purchase through the Omnia Partners government contract from Jerry Pate Turf and Irrigation. The cost under the government contract from Omnia is $17,758.48. This is a budgeted item, and staff recommends approval.
Thank you. Questions, comments, or motions?
Motion to approve.
Second it.
All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Mr. Morgan, you're back up.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor and Council. We're asking permission to have essentially a semi-annual maintenance plan for the new COLA generators. We've added to one, a 60 kW one for the electric department and a 200 kW gas generator for the water department.
Thank you. Any questions for Freddie on this? If not, a motion's in order.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Mr. Greer.
Morning.
Morning.
Fibercom is requesting an approval to pay an amount not to exceed $100,000 for new core network switches and routers from Blue Ally. This is basically the main system that delivers network services to all city, county buildings, all Fibercom customers. Having some engineering troubles, and so it's 2 years ahead of schedule. So for that reason, it's not a budgeted item, but we have funds in the 2020 SPLOST and recommend for your approval.
Thank you. Questions for Stephen on this? If not, a motion's in order.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Who's handling this award thing here?
Lily, I guess, is handling this.
All right, Lily, what do you got?
Well, I am here to present this award to the city City Council on behalf of staff and the steering committee in 2023 with Dan's support. I did apply to UGA and their Connected Resilient Communities program through their Archway partnership. It's a competitive program. We were accepted to that. And I'd also like to thank serving on our steering committee, Councilman Cooley, as well as Mr. Morgan. And I'd like to also thank David Hardegree for serving as one of our staff expertise. We worked with the UGA over 18 months to complete a silver, gold, and platinum project through their program. This is using the technical assistance of the students in areas that they identified to improve the resilience of our community. We worked on an in-depth market research plan for downtown. We produced a business development booklet focused on minority and underprivileged entrepreneurs, and then we did a case study and policy research on how to improve access to workforce and affordable housing. And that was something that, again, with Dan's support, we were able to do on behalf of the entire city, not just downtown. And I'd like to present you guys with the award for completion.
There we go. Thank you.
Thank you, Lily.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Very good. That comes to the end of the agenda. Mr. Fox, I'll put you on the spot. We have the parade tonight, which I know involves a lot of city moving parts, but your Exchange Club has been the leader of this fundraiser for several years. I know you've got all the details and want to tell everybody all about it.
Starts at 6 o'clock. But you get here early. And we've been doing it since 1987, I believe. So it's been quite a while.
Very good. And again, there's going to be a lot of people downtown. If you can be here, Christmas tree lighting at 6 as well. And yes, you will. And a lot of fun before that downtown as well. So opportunity to come down, do a little shopping, a little dining, and it will be cold, but there'll be enough people here that you can work off the body heat of everybody else if you huddle close enough together. That being said, anything else that needs to come before council today? Chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. Good job. You did good. Yeah. You're not as rusty as I thought.